Automation seems to be a growing topic of discussion in today's world. After doing much research and listening to many people discuss this topic, I can say that I have a grasp of this topic. It is true that automation has led to jobs being taken or replaced. It has caused people getting de-skilled at their current jobs. It has also led to people miswanting and creating a lack of fulfillment with life in general. I am for automation because of the ways it has been used to make life more efficient. Automation has created safety, new and better jobs, and has raised the standard of living. For us to prepare for the future of the workforce, we will focus on the use of automation and what it will look like for humans to work. One of automation's many benefits is that it creates safety for jobs that may be unsafe for humans to perform alone. In the book Glass Cage, it focuses on being a pilot. Today, all commercial planes have autopilot, leaving the pilot with only 2 times where he needs to fly the plane, which is at takeoff and at landing. Since pilots no longer need to endure long flights, they lose skill and forget what to do in an emergency situation. In the book, they call it de-skilling of the crew. For many reasons, the use of automation can be extremely beneficial when flying. It eliminates human error. Automation in planes has no doubt lowered the risks of flying and has significantly made commercial flying much safer than it ever was. I do not think that it is fair to blame automation for the few plane crashes that happen. The system is not perfect, and in some cases, it is still human error because of a lack of how the computer works. For example, an Airbus A320 crashed in Strasbourg, France. The reason being that the pilot was confused with the vertical speed and flight path angle modes. He ended up crashing the plane, which was fatal. It doesn't only happen in planes, but also trains. Conductors ignore speed constraints that are given by a computer, resulting in the train to be derailed. All of these reasons are why people need to be trained differently and understand the consequences of misusing automation. An ignorant operator is a dangerous operator, Carr stated in A Glass Cage on page 157. With more machines and programs being added to the workforce every day, we can expect to see an increase in safety, not only in the workforce, but in our daily lives. Jobs have been displaced due to automation. Some negative and some positive outcomes have happened. Automation benefits, like creating new jobs that were not in place before. It has created many new tech jobs and entrepreneur jobs. This is great for the economy and allows people to have more freedom to pursue the career they want. Another way automation has helped us create new jobs is by creating profits for business, which then allows them to hire more people. A great example of this happening was when ATMs were first invented and made available for public use. Critics first thought that they would take the bank teller jobs. The complete opposite actually happened, and it rose by 50,000 from 1980 to 2010. What the ATMs did was allow bank tellers to do more besides count money. Instead, they would problem solve, which makes them more of a valuable asset than an ATM could do. People look at automation as a bad thing for the workforce, and that is taking jobs, when in fact, automation is displacing them and giving people more freedom to pursue a passion. It is without a question that automation has raised our standards of living. Many people can agree on the idea of doing less work in order to have a more relaxed, happier life. In order to accomplish this, we use automation to do tasks that we do not want to do. Automation has given us the opportunity to live life easier and more pleasurable and at lower costs. It allows us to do more creative and open-minded life. We can focus on what the meaning of life is and how we can create happiness within us instead of doing forced, physically demanding jobs. For a job that used to be a long assembly line where one person had one job has now been replaced with a robot. Here's a video that I found of the Tesla assembly line. As you can see,
when a body leaves the body center, it's actually a
the robots being used are much more efficient than one person. They don't have to lift up heavy parts and are much faster. This is a video of the Tesla being painted. This then allows for the company to retrain these workers and give them a job that has more responsibility. Productivity has increased because more people are doing jobs that we didn't have time to do before automation. Many of these jobs have been able to increase wages for these people due to the increase in efficiency. To me, it seems that a person feels more like a human when they can get more responsibility. They get to problem solve and collaborate with people. In the long run, this will create happiness in their daily life. However, since we are forced out of the low-skilled jobs, this leaves people without jobs. That will have a huge impact on our economy, and it might have to result in universal basic income. The idea behind this is to allow someone to not have to worry about being forced into working because they need the money and never get to see what talents or passions they have. Basic income is not supposed to fully support you in a comfortable way for many. It is made so that you might work part-time or have time to create your own company. In theory, it sounds like it could work, but for the US, not going to happen in the near future. It is much more popular in countries like Switzerland, Finland, and the Netherlands, where they already have much more support from the government. The idea would allow automation to do most of the work nobody wants to do, while we get a basic income to allow what humans do best, which is to create, problem solve, and gain fulfillment from it. In summary, automation is a good thing to be added to our lives. Regardless of excuses people make of robots stealing our jobs, it is important to understand the use and change it will create. Automation can be an unsettling thought because it is new, but it is something we should be excited to understand and see it being used in our futures. I am for automation because of the ways it has been used to make life more efficient. Automation has created safety, new and better jobs, and it has raised our standard of living.
Let's go into the